Well, hello everybody. I'm going to do this post. It really sucks I have to do these, but it has to be done frequently all the time. We are building a political party for the next election. Lots of people have signed up more election forms. Moderators are doing that. They're doing a good job. What's not so good is all the posts. They're unfactual, in fact, phony, misinformation, crown propaganda, even some propaganda going across the border to the United States, even Americans doing it. We're going to myth bust that right now, and I'm going to get into what a political party's for. First myth bust. Trump is not, and I repeat, not going to save Canada. You, all of you, not one of you can produce a single publication, a single press release, a White House press release, a Trump social media post that shows him ever, ever posting about saving Canada, Canada first, or don't worry, he's going to save you. This is all propaganda by outside actors, not, and I repeat, not the GOP, not Donald J. Trump, and not the Trump administration. It's anti-American, it's anti-American laws. I don't care if Americans say it. They're wrong. Their opinion doesn't matter. We only publish on this page relevant information from Donald J. Trump, from the GOP, or from an accredited American source like the FBI, the DEA, and Homeland Security. We're going to get into these. So here's some absolute facts nobody can deny. And if these are not met, we can't have your posts. Trump 11 times has publicly stated Canada the 51st state. His most last statement was Canada, our first 51st state, our cherished state. No economic union. No. Canada the 51st state means a state in the union, not Canada the country in an economic union with the United States. No. There is not a single publication out of President Donald J. Trump's mouth, the GOP, the White House, not one post publication press release has ever stated anything like that or them even talking about that. No, it's all been Canada in the State of the Union as the 51st state. And there's a legal process to that. No economic union, no Canada in any way, shape, or form, or Canada to be saved. You will not find that out of President Donald J. Trump's mouth, on any publication, social media post, anything recorded by him. A lot of people are sharing AI-generated fake Donald J. Trump posts. Even Americans trying to do this. Not going to end up on our page. Can't be on our page. Why? Because we are building a political party. We can't have misinformation, disinformation, or leave the Donald J. Trump and GOP truth. That's it. You can't publish anything that's in contravention or an absolute opposite of what they've clearly said over and over many times in many forms. Many. There's actually dozens when you include the media. There is nothing about provincial statehood. 10 provinces, 3 territories. Never once, not once, has the GOP, Donald J. Trump, the White House, or any publications thereon of the government of the United States in power today, absolutely, has ever said anything about that or ever promoted that. Sorry, That's not what they want. Why? They've clearly published their need for the North America, the need to secure the Arctic. Clearly, moving borders, erasing an invisible barrier. They're not interested in individual provinces that don't yield all three oceans. If you don't understand that, you should know now. They want all three oceans. Why? Because America has all three oceans. Why would they want parts and pieces? Resources are not a federal power. Your resources don't matter. Donald J. Trump has been outstandingly open about this. Anyone posting about USA stealing our resources or that their Americans want our resources, that's not the lane of the federal government. National security, now that's the lane of the federal government. Providing access for the states of the Union, that's an American lane. That's clearly published many, many times. Nothing else contrary to that has ever come out of the President of the United States' mouth to date. And he says a whole lot. If that is the truth, which it is, then none of these posts can come. I don't care if it's an American, a Canadian. Oh, but Dave, look at all his followers. Who gives a shit? Who is he? A social media sensation, a feel-good sensation. That's great. Is he in the Trump administration? Does he hold office? Is he in politics? Oh, no, he's not. Oh, geez. Not in the political structure. So what does that mean? Absolutely no effectual change for any of us. Feel-good publications. Yeah, run the Liberals down. I hate the Liberals. I hate them the most. Probably, yeah. I would say I hate them the most. But I'm not an idiot. I'm not an idiot. I know that it's Liberal, Conservative, NDP, Bloc, Green. It's the whole institution of Canada, not one party. This hasn't just been going on for 9 years, Canadians. We can go all the way back to the 60s and 50s. In fact, 40s, 30s, 20s. We can go on and on. You continue to do the same things. Rinse and repeat. Bing, bong, and you alienate America every 4 years, no matter which party you get. Since the 60s, you've been defunding NORAD, defunding NATO, defunding the United States. In fact, going behind their backs, enriching all the politicians. This isn't a Liberal thing. And Trump has been very clear about that. You don't have publications of Trump running down only the Liberal Party outside of the 2022 video of the convoy and Trump standing for them. That is absolutely true. In his last administration, he did that. He certainly did that. COVID-19, he did that. Folks, it's 2025. We got a whole new Trump administration, a whole new Donald J. Trump. I don't mind that stuff. It's credible, real, verifiable. It came right out of Donald J. Trump's mouth. What didn't come out is him pointing fingers at specific parties or saying that all the problems the United States has with Canada are one party's problem. That is Canadian bullshit and propaganda, and Americans feeding into that. Not ever said out of Donald J. Trump's mouth. In fact, it's the opposite. He says, I don't care, clearly out of his words. His words, it's Donald J. Trump in a press release to the media corps in the United States. I don't care. Who cares about the other guy, Pierre Poilievre? Who cares about Justin Trudeau? I don't care which one it is. They're both garbage. That's what he said. They're both no good. I don't care. We're not going to stop. That means, that tells you, it's not one political party. It's all of them. It's the Crown of Canada. It's our monarchical system that goes on for many, many decades. This anti-American, many, many decades. In fact, it goes back, as I've articulated, right back to the first 13. In fact, the first 3. I just finished the 3rd one today. I hummed and hawed about it. I talked to an American. I go, I know I need to publish this. It's going to be great for Canadians. Americans are going to go, what? Because it's not part of America and it looks different. But it's a truth nonetheless, and it's a truth that maybe Canadians can gravitate to. These are things that get published. real historical facts, real historical truths with the President of the United States under the laws of the United States, which us, with the political party, we also have to juggle the Canadian system. As garbage as it is, we have to follow those rules, those laws. We are building a political party in the country of Canada for the 51st state of Canada, according to Donald J. Trump and GOP, as accurately as possibly can be. We're not a news media source. We can be an education tool. We can be civics orientated, and we can publish facts in relation to relations with Donald J. Trump and the GOP. That is all we can do. Anybody else's opinion isn't really worth shit if they're not bringing that forward with what has been said by the Trump administration, Donald J. Trump himself, GOP themselves, the White House, the organization attached to the executive, and then all those institutions through the judiciary and legislative branch. Absolutely. You can post all that. We welcome that. But people are making stuff up, taking their opinion, not what these institutions have said. American institutions have been clear and presented. Fentanyl is not just Mexican cartel. It's not just China and the liberals. It's absolutely, yes, China and India too. It's our legal immigration. It's our provincial nomination program. It's our illegal and USA made legal in Canada immigrants who go legally across the border where America can't see because there's horse blinders. And according to current publications from this 30-day period, DEA, FBI, Homeland Security has articulated this. Nobody cares about American opinions. Nobody cares about liberal, conservative, bloc. What they care about is the truth and what those American institutions of the judicial branch are presenting to all of you in actual reports on their website, shared and logged by the White House under President Donald J. Trump, who's head of state of the executive branch, and the party in power GOP with the majority House and Senate. If you can't stick with those facts, you're no good to us. Your post will be rejected. I don't care how popular the person is. I don't care. People are like, but Dave, look at the following. I don't care. Do I look like a populist? What is that going to do for me with the Trump administration and our party? Oh boy, another crown garbage party. Trump will have nothing to do with us. The Americans won't even talk to us, won't even look at us. They won't even look at us. We're just going to be another crown idiocracy, pure monarchical autocracy like everybody else, feeding into the garbage of the crown propaganda that so many of you are institutionalized to love so much. And even got Americans helping you along with that, which is sad, but it's not unexpected. As a political party in Canada, a political party we're going to do, we don't have to win Americans. I don't. That's the truth. The only people I have to appease is the United States government. That's it. That's the truth. America is a republic. It's not a democratic republic. It's a constitutional republic. The people don't have any say in statehood. They never have. I love Americans. I love their powers in their lanes under the state where the sovereignty is for all Americans. But this is part of the constitutional republic. The only Americans I need to win and educate Canadians on and build this party for is Donald J. Trump, the GOP, absolutely. And that means Congress and Senate, which is their majority. That's all I have to win. I don't have to win any other Americans. They could all piss on me, hate me, shit on me. I don't want that. I try to make education available to all, and I don't want to alienate Americans. You'll never catch me booing anthems or speaking ill of America. But I'm being honest here, and Americans know this in their heart anyway. I don't have to win you. I don't. I have to convince millions of Canadians that this is the path forward. That's all I have to do, and that is a monumental task. And I'm glad America is the way it is. That I just have to stay true to Donald J. Trump, the GOP, Congress, Senate, and appease the judiciary and honor that too. I do that, and we're laughing. We're laughing. So I'm going to say this, especially for my moderators who are tagged. If it isn't clearly stated by the USA President Trump, GOP White House, the judicial branch, which is Supreme Court, the DEA, FBI, and Homeland Security, it's not getting published. I don't care who the American or Canadian is or what their followings are. It will destroy us as a political party. Because why? We're not a news agency. We're not an advertising company. And we definitely don't do sales. There's all kinds of rules on that. People, which brings me to this, no advertising, no selling of things. There's a way to do that as a registered party. We're not there yet. We're not there yet. And if we start that road now, we're never going to get there. Especially publicly on a public forum like this, open for all eyes, with the crowd who hates everything we're about, would love to catch us breaching their legal rules in the country of Canada, whether we like it or not. I've proved myself more than capable of crossing T's, dotting I's on registering parties. I did that in 2019 in the province of Alberta. Much harder at this level, but not impossible. We have some small hurdles we still got to get through. An accountant is a big one. We need that. And we aren't going to get that by publishing misinformation, disinformation, alienating the United States of America, executive, legislative, and judicial branches, which is all we have to stay the line to. We have to, because it's all we have. And if you lose that for the garbage, the Crown propaganda and garbage, American misinformation, disinformation, or even Canadian misinformation, disinformation, we're fucked. And I'm sorry that language bothers people, but we're fucked. And people got to understand that. Wake up quick. So I got all that. There is some more. Here's some more clear facts. Clear facts. It's not forced annexation. That's a Crown propaganda tool. There's no such thing in Webster's. This is comparative law. I was glad that Benjamin Ebley brought this forward. No forced annexation. It is absolutely State of the Union on invite. And there will be sanctions and trade embargoes to make you see clearly the evil of your crown. That is not forced annexation. Forced annexation is the American armed forces coming in and seizing Canada by force. And maybe it could get there with a lot of the Canadian lunatics. Maybe it could, but it isn't on the docket. It isn't what America is going to do. They don't even have to do it. It's going to be economic. It's been stated clearly, published by Donald J. Trump many, many times. Canadians need to stop using the word annexation, especially forced annexation. Not true. That's Oxford bullshit. Even AI will tell you about Texas. Canada's Oxford definition says forced annexation, and they give the example of Texas. Whereas in Webster's, that's not true. And AI even clearly says, no, that's false. That Oxford is false. Canada is false. Your dictionary is false. Canadians, you're false. Trump does have a flag of 55 stars. He does have that. It was flown on a plane. People counted the stars. Hey, what's this 55 stars? People are making up propaganda and it won't come on our page. What has Trump said? The President of the United States. What has been shared by GOP? What has been published by the White House? What's been released in press? It's called Turtle Island. Canada 51. Mexico 52. Panama 53, Greenland 54, known as the North American Turtle Island by the American Indians. Yeah, there's Turtle Mountain, right dead center of that mathematically. How did they come up with that? Well, talk to the Utes, the Aztec Utes. How did they come up with their calendar? How did they come up with their clock? Talk to the Catholic Church and find out these truths. This is the truth. That is all Donald J. Trump, the GOP, the White House, and the executive branch of government agencies have published today. That's it. Well, what's the fifth star? Published publicly less than a week ago with Benjamin Netanyahu in the White House, whose mouth hit the floor. He quickly left, shocked, obviously deflated. Trump states Gaza will be American. There's your fifth star. Do you know what Palestinians becoming refugees means in American law and America taking Palestine? If you don't know, you need to go look at 2005, led by the United States of America, and what happened to the Sudanese refugees. Canadians should all know this, at least Edmontonians and Torontonians. You should know this. Go talk to a Sudanese community near you. There's your Donald J. Trump. Truth, published, fact, verifiable. Anything else? New Zealand, Australia, Five Eyes. We don't want any of that crap. We don't. Misinformation, propaganda, all by the crown. Americans falling into it too. I don't care what they view as popular. I care about what the President of the United States has released, published out of his mouth, shared by the GOP, shared by the White House, released in press reports by the White House, and everything backed up by the DEA, FBI, and absolutely Homeland Security. If somebody's publishing and it doesn't fit into those categories, see ya. Why? One more time. We are building a legal political party to run in the next election. If that's not for you and you love all the garbage, you got your crayon out, you pulled it out of your crayon box because you're a checkers player, you put them up your nose, that's fine. That's fine. I get it, right? That's a lot of Canadians. It's a majority. Take your fucking crayon and go color in the corner. We're playing chess with the big boys. We don't need the kid with the crayon in their nose. We don't. Bye. See ya. Because if you can't handle what we're doing here, 51st State, PCC, Party of the Canadian Constitutionalists, if you don't want to get real, you don't want to run for MP or take an appointment or get active like all the Americans did way back when, way even before the War of Independence. They'd already started that process in 1630, and from there onward, they never skipped a beat. It took them a long time, but they did it by doing, by being adults, not kids with crayons in their nose for their crown. And I'm sorry, I don't know how to make this nice. There's nothing nice about what's coming. Nothing nice. And we have little to no time. I have no time for compromising. No time for, oh, well, just let them play with their crayons. It's okay. No, that corrupts what we're doing here. And we can't have it. People can't accept that. Tough titty. Already over 4,000. We should be absolutely able to register a party. Are you telling me out of the 4.2 thousand people, there's not one accountant who can take that position in the party? Where are you? Where are you? I'm sure there's at least one, probably two in there. But just like the majority playing with crayon, no, I'm going to wait for Pierre Poilievre to save me. Trump's going to love him. No, Trump hates his guts. He knows China FIPA. Your FBI, the United States, CIA has already determined this. They got it from Canada's version of CIA and RCMP, which is FBI equivalent. They already have the CSIS reports. They know Pierre Poilievre took $50,000 for the China FIPA deal as he was in charge of the committee under Prime Minister Stephen Harper. He filled his pockets at that time. He's now worth over $20 million today. Never worked a day in his life. So what, he's averaging, $2 million a year for the last 20 years in politics? I don't see that in his wages, taxes, all that. Oh, okay. Where did he make his money? Corruption. Just like who else? Mega corrupt Trudeau, worth hundreds of millions of dollars. I'm not an idiot. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. We know he's garbage, but they're all garbage. You grab your crayon, that's fine. Go. Take your crayon and go. What we're doing here is we're building a real political party. If you want that, sign up for a membership. Reach out to the moderators. They're doing the membership forms. At least Courtney and Lindsay. Reach out to them. They're going to do it. But as for posting, the garbage has got to go. I can keep deleting it. I don't even give comments anymore. That's what this video is for. I was trying to be nice and for people to say, look, we can't take this because of this, but 55 posts a day, somewhere's upwards of 100. I can't keep wasting my time doing that. And that's what moderators are for. This video is going to stay pinned for, I hope, a while. And we're going to leave it pinned for people to watch and understand what we're doing. Thanks. That's my video. It's going on the page. It's going to get pinned. Bye now.